Yes, hi. My name is Rob Halliburton, and you must take a look at this video. It will change your life or hopefully change someone's life that you love or that you know. This is a true testimony of what God did for me.
Mr. Halliburton,
I can't move my body. What's wrong?
do you know you've been in a coma for over a week now? Do you know you're dying? You need to call your family and get your affairs in order.
I can't move. Oh, Lord, in the name of Jesus. I can't move my body. I can't move. I was literally paralyzed in February 2018. My spirit, God just kept waking me up and telling me to share with the world what He's done for me. And this is what I'm here to share. I went to the emergency room hospital for lower pain in my back. I looked up 2 weeks later and I had been in a coma and I couldn't move my body from neck all the way down. It was a really, really tough experience. It was very, very horrible experience. And I just couldn't believe what was happening to me. I was in perfectly good shape, avid mountain bike rider, marathons, and it just happened out of the blue. I found myself in a traumatic situation, devastating situation. And as soon as I woke up out of the coma, and I'm tripping because I cannot move my body, and I was just, my brain was, I couldn't even put together a sentence. The doctor walks into my hospital room and he tells me that I need to notify my family that I'm dying. And I'm even more thinking I am dreaming. I'm thinking this cannot be true, no way, no how. But as I could not move my body, and I realized that no, this is not a dream, that this is real. And I'm telling you, man, I cried, I prayed for the Lord, let this not be true. Please fix this dream, Father. I mean, it was so hard, it was so tough. This happened in Fresno, California. They kept me in Fresno for 6 weeks, slicing and dicing and experimenting on me. Next thing you know, they shipped me back home to San Diego, California, to be with my kids and to die. I got to San Diego. I was in a nursing home. I'm 6'5". My weight went down to 161 pounds. I was nothing but bones. And my body was so skinny and my bones were so brittle that somehow they put me in a physical therapy. They had to take the Hoyer lift, which is basically a crane, to get me in and out of the bed. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't lean up to the bed. I literally was wearing a pamper. I had a catheter. I stayed that way for about 14 months. They kicked me out of physical therapy. They said it wasn't going to do me any good. My insurance said they helping this guy. He lifting 2-pound, 5-pound weights. He's 161 pounds and he's 6'5", wasting money. After they put me out of physical therapy, thank God. God is such an amazing, wonderful God, because they sent me to the right place. I ended up at this place called Poway Healthcare Center in Poway, California, where there was a team there that really helped me. They really encouraged me. They really told me that I could do it, and that if I want to do it, that I could, as long as I had the proper mental state. I kept fighting, man. I kept fighting. This video is called The Will to Live. If you have the will to live, I wanted to inspire somebody else. He told me to share with you. Now, in this video, you will see doctors speaking about how bad I was. You will see medical reports from the hospital, from numerous doctors. You will see testimonies from the facility, Power Healthcare Center, talking about my condition.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Gandhi. I'm the treating physician for Rob Halliburton. I took care of him for more than 3 months at Power Healthcare Center. He had come in with spinal cord condition. He needed IV antibiotics for about 8 weeks. He was laid up in bed, not able to move his feet, barely able to move his toes, not even able to move his legs. And at that point, things looked really grim. I, for once, didn't think he would be up and walking months from now. But Rob's determination, his willpower to move ahead got the better for him. After he was done with his antibiotics, he started working with therapy, and I was amazed. He was walking first on parallel bars, moved on to the walker, and when we discharged him from Poway Healthcare, he was walking with the walker. And now I see him 3 months after his discharge or more, and he's walking by himself. No cane, no walker, just by himself. By his willpower, his strength, his determination. And as a physician, of course, I feel proud of him, but as a human being and as a fellow human being, this is a moment completely of success, and it's amazing. It's amazing, and I hope we all take inspiration from Rob and move ahead.
So I saw him when he got here with he had wounds on his backside. He was pretty debilitated to the point where you were, this might be the rest of this guy's life laying in this bed. And it was a struggle at first, getting everything situated, getting meds ready, everything. He was very involved, though, with all of it from the start. He had his notepad. He wrote down every conversation that he would have with you so that if he forgot about it later, he could go back and tell you, no, remember we talked about this.
Good thinking.
So he did a really great job managing the system himself, to be able to be an advocate for himself, which is super important.
Right.
It was a slow process initially, and then all of a sudden it was like a little light. Like suddenly he started standing. Oh, he's standing up now. Look at, he can transfer on his own. Oh my God. Hey, Rob just walked down the hallway. Like,
right, so you're seeing all these like miracles basically unfold.
yeah,
right in front
you
of
go
your
from
eyes.
in a bed all the time and then in a chair, and suddenly he stands up and you're like, oh, wow, you're really tall. Never seen that before. Historically, when you start in that kind of a condition, it's a challenge, and if you don't rise to that challenge yourself, because we can only do so much.
Right.
We can take care of the wounds, we can give you the pills, but if you're not self-motivated, you're not going to be getting out of that bed and walking around and doing this kind of stuff again. These kind of stories are the best kind of stories we have. Being able to go, hey, this guy couldn't even turn over by himself practically in bed, and now he's walking around, making us all crazy.
But when I was kicked out of physical therapy and went to my room where I couldn't get out of the bed, I couldn't move, I couldn't use the restroom, I couldn't lean on the side of the bed, I couldn't do anything. And if I did attempt to move, I was in so much pain that it was, when they say, what's your pain level from 1 to 10? I was a 15 to 20 pain 24 hours a day. I went into a really deep depression, of course. None of my friends showed up. I thought that I had a lot of friends. I thought I was a very popular guy. None of my friends showed up at all to help me, check on me, nothing. In addition to that, I only had 3 family members to check on me out of 8 family members. I was praying, and crying. And I told the Lord to not leave me like this. I said, God, you got to help me, Father. It's just me and you, man. You got to help me. And when I asked him that on that Sunday morning, he replied, a spirit replied to me, do I trust him? Spirit came over me, said, do you trust me to do it? What in the world is talking to me? Kind of scared me. And I just went with it. I knew it had to be the Holy Spirit. And next thing you know, I said, yes, I trust you. And guess what? God helped me. God helped me to be able to get up using a walker. I mean, he helped me to move my body because I couldn't move my body. And somehow, some way, I fought my butt off. You can bet that. I had to work really, really hard because keep in mind, I also was in these comas. So I played a lot of music to get my beat, to get my rhythm, to get my hips to moving, right? And to get my brain, a lot of gospel, a lot of good beats too.
Yeah, when I first started working with him, I mean, he couldn't lift his leg up. He couldn't even bend his knee. He couldn't, everything hurt too. Just to bend his leg, pump his ankle, any of that was just painful. You could barely move to get out of bed. That was a chore. Your whole body just gets stiff, and that's what we're dealing with too, is knees being able to bend again. Because if you're in one position all the time and you're straight, you go to bend your knee after 3 months of being straight in bed, it's not going to feel good. It's going to be very painful. Yeah. I would have to tell him almost every treatment, like, you trust me. Just trust me. Yeah. Just trust me. It's going to get better. And it's, but you know what? When we discharged him from therapy, that was the real miracle, because we got him to walk maybe 20 feet at one time with a walker. After that is when he did all the work by himself. That was him and another person, the RNA that we discharged patients to. I mean, he came in here one day, and I remember him talking about being more motivated and wanting to walk. And he got up in the bars one day, and he started there by himself, just walking up and down with the RNA. And I remember he did that a couple times. Then I'd see him in the walker walking up and down the hallway. Then one day he's like, I want to get rid of this walker, and I'm like, okay, we'll practice with one hand in the bars, Just little things I noticed from him where he was just more motivated, and I asked him, like, hey, man, you're on it. You're on the right track now. This is the mentality you need.
In that mindset.
Yeah, that mindset that I'm not going to live here the rest of my life. I'm going to get better.
I'm sure you see people go through all the time in that crossroads where, yes, you can help them and facilitate, but they have to make that choice of, I need to dig deep, and everybody's not always in that headspace.
Right.
So you have to be ready in your own headspace.
In your own headspace.
And your spirituality, where the Holy Spirit was in you, like motivating you too, and being like, you can do this, and you dug deep and you found that motivation, and you had the people to facilitate that to make that motivation go even further and to keep you on the track and push you.
Well, he was hearing a lot of this stuff from us, but like you said, it wasn't sinking in yet. And then he had that time where it was discharge therapy, and he wasn't really doing much. He had that time to think about, I guess, life, right? Yeah. And just he was able to, I don't know if you're watching motivational videos or what you were doing to get yourself kind of going in the morning, but whatever he did, you could see it. You could see the difference. We can motivate and we can push and we can, tell them that they're going to get better, but until they believe it and really start making those steps and making those strides to get better, that's when we see it.
I know God is a huge part of
Yeah.
your journey. You
course.
wouldn't, you wouldn't
Yeah.
be standing right now without
Exactly.
him.
Sure.
And I know
Oh,
you're
yeah.
full on
Couldn't do it
believer
by
of that,
myself.
and you are
Right.
as well, but
Yeah.
it's just amazing. Like, it came from both ends, but like, God wasn't letting you down. He walked you through it and gave you the right team and allowed you to dig deep and pull that out from within.
Yeah.
You know, and to give you that strong willpower. Like, it brought the Rob that we know back, like the willpower
Right.
and that,
Right.
I mean business. Like,
Yep.
this is my motivation. This is my journey. This is what my testimony is.
Yeah, just wanted to come by and formally thank you, and I
Anytime, man.
appreciate you
Anytime.
getting in this success story video.
Yeah.
This is the man right here, Neil. He was my mentor, my coach, you know, and because of him, he's helped me to be able to walk again and to share this story with you guys. This gentleman's awesome.
Yeah, God put us together,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, God put us together, for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah, God, it's all God.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's
that's
just
right.
totally God, so.
Rob had initially come in for skilled therapy and rehab, and he got to a point where his insurance had said, you know, we're not going to be able to provide any more therapy with you. And we knew at the same time that Rob wasn't ready to leave the facility. But when he got the information, it was extremely, extremely emotional for Rob. I just looked at Rob and I just said, Rob, it's going to be okay. You know, that's what I'm here for. He looked at me and he said, Melanie, are you for real? Are you really going to do this for me? And I said, yes, absolutely. You can trust me, and I will make sure that I take care of you. Rob worked his tail off to get where he is today. And another special moment that him and I had together was that said, Rob, just because you're not on therapy anymore does not mean that you can't do therapy and that you can't walk. And he said, I'm going to do it, Melanie. I'm going to do it. And I looked at him and I said, I want you to prove it to me. And he said, how? And I said, because you are going to walk from your room to my office by yourself. And that was something that he was definitely not able to accomplish when he first got here. But slowly, every day he tried and he tried and he tried. And one day he showed up at my door. And he said, Melanie, I'm here. And
Surprise, right?
so those are those big miracles
That's amazing.
that we have here at the facility. And Rob is truly, truly a success story.
Just to let you know what I'm sharing with you is real, because it is real, and it is something that can help you if you have the mental state that you want to change your life. It could be mental, it could be physical, it could be whatever you're going through, whatever your situation is. If you have a will to live, and if you have God in your life, He said, I can do all things. All things mean all things. But the Lord said, do you believe me that I will heal you? I said, yes, Lord. So people ask me, how are you walking? How are you dancing? We don't believe that you was paralyzed, people even tell me. That's why I'm doing this video. So I can help somebody throughout the world know that if you don't have any family, you don't have any friends, you don't have anyone, guess what? God says, I got your back. God says that you got me. And when I called on Him, guess what? He showed up. And He showed out. And He took the best care of me. And I was paralyzed. They said I was going to die. Then they saw that I was a fighter. I wasn't going to die. They said, sir, you're certainly never going to walk again. So many doctors told me that. You're never going to walk again. You can forget that, for sure. But guess what? Right now I'm walking. Right now I'm dancing. Right now everything working. Right now I'm blessed. Right now I love you, Lord, so much. I love you so much, Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus. So I am the mailman delivering this message to you. You'll see on the video, so make sure you take a look at it. You might want to watch it twice. You might want to share that with a loved one. that might need some help. Once again, my name is Rob Halliburton. I'm a walking billboard, testimony, miracle, faith, move mountain. You'll see my email down there. I would like to hear your response. Somebody could, really benefit, which I'm sure, because there's nobody coaching people how to get better physically. There's videos how to get rich, there's videos how to do a lot of things, but there's no videos on what's going to happen when your health fall, or you're in a situation where you can't do anything, right? The will to live. This video inspired by God Almighty. Okay? Take care. Hope I talk to you soon.